Welcome to Jackie's Craft Table. Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I hope you're having a wonderful day. For today's card, I'm finally getting around to using a stamp set I've had in my stash since February of 2017. It's from My Favorite Things and it's called Farm Friends. I'm stamping out my images onto some Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. I'm going to be doing some Copic coloring, and I'm just selecting the stamps that I want to use for this card. There's so many possibilities with this cute little stamp set. I've selected the tractor and the little cart full of animals and a chick. When I'm almost completely done with my card, I end up stamping one more little image. I pulled out some of my green Copic markers, and I like to start with the darkest first, and then the mid-tone, and then my lightest for the highlight. I have the caps laid out so you can see what colors I'm using if you're interested, and I'll also have them listed on my blog. The coloring was pretty simple, but I sped up the video so that you could see all of it. I'll catch back up with you at the end of the coloring. Next, I'm creating a mask using this pink piece of scrap paper. I'm going to create a hillside scene behind my images, and I want the hill to have the same angle as my piece of plaid pattern paper. I taped my pink mask onto my card panel with some micropore tape so it doesn't shift while I'm creating the hill. I'm using some distress ink for that, and it's called Mowed Lawn. I'm tapping off first on my mask so that I get a smooth blend onto my card panel. This is another piece of Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. Now I can remove that mask very carefully so the tape doesn't rip my panel. And I'm going to do the sky. I'm going to use the other side of my mask and tape that one on. For the sky, I'm going to use some tumbled glass, and it's just a very pale, pretty blue. I want this card panel to be kind of soft, just to give kind of an indication of sky and hill. In the upper right corner, I'm putting a little bit of scattered straw distress ink just to give an indication of sunshine. Next, I'm cutting out my images using the coordinating dies. And I'm just going to tape those in place with some more micropore tape and run them through my Sizzix Big Shot machine. The die cut on the right there is a little rope or a chain that came in the set, and then you can connect the tractor to the little cart of animals. And I'm going to color that in with some Copic markers a little bit later. Here's my little die cuts. To get the paper out of this little rope die cut, I'm using some thin scissors to pop that out. Before I adhere my images onto this card panel, I'm going to stamp out my sentiment, and it says "Howdy from the Herd." I'm using my Mini Misty and some more intense black ink for that, and I do end up stamping it twice just to get it good and black. These stamp positioning tools are really awesome. They allow you to restamp exactly where you first stamped and make your image or your sentiment darker. It sure has saved me a lot of paper in the past and a lot of my card panels. I'm cutting down my plaid paper to fit an A2 size card. That's 5.5 by 4.25. I'm going to pop up my card panel with some craft foam, and I'm using some strong score tape here on both the front and the back of this craft foam so that it won't be going anywhere. First, I'm going to attach it to the back of my scenery panel. I cut the craft foam a little bit smaller so that you can't see it around the edges. I'm creating my card base, and it's going to be a top folding card. I'm using a new dry adhesive to attach my plaid paper onto my card base. Jennifer McGuire recommended this, and it's called Kokuyo Dot Liner. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I'm just loving it so far. This little tape runner lasts a very long time, and it's very strong. I do like to use score tape when I'm dealing with craft foam. Craft foam is kind of finicky, at least for me, and the score tape has a very strong bind. I'm attaching foam squares to the back of my images to add even more dimension for this card. I was about to attach the images to the front of my card when I realized something was missing. It kind of looked strange to me that nobody was driving the tractor, so I'm masking off the area on this tractor so that I can stamp a little chick behind the wheel. I'm using my teeny tiny cute little acrylic block for this, and I hardly ever use it, but it came in handy here. And it's stamped out nicely, and so I'm just going to color that in with some more Copic colors. And now I can attach the images to the front of my card. As you can see, I'm using my multimedia matte glue, and I'm using a new tip for that. It was suggested by Nina Marie from Nina Marie Design. These are Derice Ultra Fine Tip Applicator bottles. It has a pin in the tip of the nozzle, and it keeps the glue from clogging. I absolutely love this product. I've had no problems with my glue clogging, and it's so much easier and more pleasant than using your fingertips to apply glue. I'm going to adhere the tractor so that it kind of looks like it's driving off the side of the card panel there. Last but not least, I'm going to adhere the little chick walking behind the wagon. These images are all so darling. I felt that the card needed one more added touch, so I pulled out my glossy accents, and I'm just going to go over my tires. Trying to go around the hubcaps, but I didn't succeed with this first tire. I allowed the glossy accents to dry overnight. Probably doesn't take that long, but I just had it out on my table. And that finishes off my card. Please like, subscribe, and share this video on your favorite social media. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and if you're in the United States, happy 4th of July. Thanks for watching. Bye.